welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome to Belgrade Online,
An online ministry of Belgrade Avenue United Methodist Church.
Welcome to Belgrade Online. I'm Dan, the video editor of Belgrade Online. Here are this week's announcements, followed by Dan's sermon and some music to brighten your day. Thanks again for watching Belgrade Online.
Next kind of fun thing that we got, I want to start announcing it now, is that it's just about halfway through 2023 here, coming up in a little over a month. And it's been a few years since we've done a church directory for Belgrade. So we're going to do a new 2023 church directory this year. What's going to happen is that somebody from the company that bought out LifeTouch is going to be coming out and taking pictures in September. They'll come out and they'll take pictures, and everyone's going to get a free directory. And then if you want to purchase the pictures that they take from there, that you can definitely do that as well through them. Oh, and a free 8x10. That's coming up in September, and I'll have solidified dates for you coming up. But I just wanted to kind of put the bug in your ear, and in September we'll be starting to take photos for our 2023 church directory. And my hope is to have that out to you so everybody has the directory kind of somewhere between Thanksgiving and before Christmas. So kind of a, early Belgrade Christmas gift, I guess. And my goal this year also, my second goal, is that, in the past, the directories have had some blank pictures where there's no picture there. There's family information, but no picture. I would love to have a picture in every single slot for every single family. And when the time comes to get the pictures taken, they'll have a photographer out here for 3 or 4 days. They can also come out further than that. But if you can't make the time slots when we do post them, I can also come out and take your photo as well. And so, or you can come in at a different time and we can do that and submit photos also. But that's going to be coming up in September. Hey, what's up, everyone? Pastor Dan here. Hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend so far. Well, we're in the middle of a series, but we're taking a break from it because today you're all in for something special. I got a good friend of mine who I've known for about 14 years, and we met while we were both serving a youth group, a youth ministry at a church a while back, and this is even before I had kids. And he's written a few books, and he's a great speaker and a wonderful guy with a huge heart. And he's got a new book coming out called Lessons from Coach Project. And I don't want to give too much away about what the book is about, but we've recently connected on social media, and he was letting me know about this book and telling me all about it, and it was so powerful to me and fascinating that I said, hey, why don't you come talk to the church? And he said, I'd love to. So this morning we've got my good friend Adam Erwin, who's here and is going to be blessing you all with some stories from Coach, and you'll understand what that means in a minute. But I hope you enjoy this, and we'll have some information for you at the end to give you if you're interested in buying his book that will come out in the fall. So I encourage you to hang out until the end, and we'll give you that info. And without further ado, enjoy my buddy Adam Erwin.
One of my very favorite things in this world is when I get a chance to see someone experience a life-changing moment. In the video that we're about to see, a groom on his wedding day who's colorblind gets the surprise and the gift of a lifetime. Take a look.
Got these for you.
Are they glasses?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
The colorblind ones.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
They're so expensive.
Put them on.
You're kidding.
Put them on.
Are you serious? You guys can see this every day? I don't know if you guys understand, but I didn't know
grass look green?
Yeah. It's unreal.
Stop making me cry.
But it's color like nobody understands how. I'll have to relearn my colors with the glasses.
Yeah, what color you actually think?
This is violet or purple. This is blue. I'm gonna say this is rose red or pink.
Pinky.
White and violet on the ends.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You like?
I can see colors.
Those are chroma glasses. They allow colorblind people to see color. That was the first time in his life that he could ever see color. Can you imagine? If you're here and you're married, you may think seeing color is great. Does it help you pick up laundry? I don't know. But from what I hear, they're still together. So we're hopeful. In that video, I just love it. I love it when he says, "You guys see this every day? I don't think you understand. I didn't know." He didn't know how beautiful his world was. The lenses that we see our world through make all the difference, right? Can we see hurt? Do we see anger? Do we see busy? Over the past 5 years, I've been on this journey. I woke up one day and I was hurting, and I realized that the lenses through which I saw the world, I wasn't seeing the world as beautifully as I thought it should be. And so I made good on an idea that I had many years ago. And I did something a little interesting. I started hopping on airplanes. Denver, Phoenix, Boston, Seattle, anywhere across the United States. And every time I would fly, the only reason I would fly would be to hop on the plane so I could interview the person I sat next to on the plane. And then I would write about the life lesson that I learned from each person. The conversation that I want to have with America is how to see more value in the person next to you. I want to help people to put on a more powerful lens so that the world's more beautiful. God gave us a great world. People are awesome. And if you're a bit like me, maybe you see the world through the lens of political divide. It's pretty extreme sometimes. Maybe you see it through the lens of racial strain. There's a lot of that going around nationwide. Maybe you've seen on social media this mob mentality of people saying things over a keyboard that they would never say if they were in front of that person. Or maybe you see people cocooned with their smartphone and in the little device world, oblivious to the rest. And I'm not sure if it was one of those things or all of those things, or maybe it was a combination, but I found that the lenses through which I saw the world weren't serving me. I couldn't see how beautiful people were, and I wanted it back. I used to be curious about people. I used to love people, and I found myself in a place where I really didn't love people like I used to, and I wasn't as curious about them. So I started hopping on these planes, interviewing people, talking to them. In total, I did 33 interviews out of 35 opportunities. So 2 people said no. But 33 people said yes. 14 of those people cried on my shoulder during the interviews. We had these amazing conversations. It was a life-changing moment, plane ride after plane ride for me. And while I can't take you on a plane with me and have you sit alongside and or watch you talk closely with someone so you can see more value in the person next to you, what I can do today is I can take some of the things that I distilled from those interviews, some of the things that stuck with me, how that impacted my day, because I operate so differently. I treat people so differently. I see things so differently in my world. My world is so much more beautiful. I think a little bit closer to how God intended me to see it. So what I'm going to share with you today are 3 very simple things. And you probably do these things. Maybe every day, maybe sporadically. But if you have glasses, maybe sometimes you recognize, like, oh, I forgot my glasses. Have you ever forgotten your glasses? My hope is that these small little intentional engagements that I'm about to share, if you can put those lenses on every day, do these small little things every single day, and they're easy. The world that you live in, you will see it to be so much more vibrant, colorful, and beautiful. So here's the question I have for you today. What if we didn't know that the world is more beautiful than how we see it? What if we didn't know? 3 simple ways that I think we can find the world as beautiful as God made it for us. The first one is, on the screen up there, it's going to say, intentional engagement number 1. We're missing a slide. There we go. We're going to talk about how to see the beauty in the world around you. So, first thing I want to talk about is intentional kindness. The best part of the day during the school year for me is the bus stop. I'm with my daughters, we're in our vehicle, because it's Minnesota and I'm from Missouri and I get cold when it's October. So we're in my vehicle and we're waiting at the bus stop for the bus. And there are 5 things that I've taken from the benefits of the people I've talked to on my plane rides. And every single morning, my favorite part is to say, hey girls, what are the 5 things? What are the 5 things we're going to do today? And they take turns back and forth. Number 1, say something kind to someone. Number 2, ask someone a question about themselves. Number 3, help someone who needs help. Number 4, give or share of what we have. Number 5, Daddy, I'm going to try something really hard. Those 5 little things. Planting little seeds of intentional engagement so my daughters see their world through a lens like those. It's the best part of my day because when they come home, they're so excited because they talk about, Daddy, I tried something really hard today. Or Daddy, I said something kind to someone. And they light up as they talk about the intentional engagement in the world. The world's more beautiful for them when they do these things. So the first one is intentional kindness. Say something kind to someone. A few weeks ago, my parents flew into town. They live in Florida. I love that they live in Florida because January in Florida it's fun to visit Florida in January. So they flew up to Minneapolis a few weeks ago, just before July 4th. And my mom wanted to take my daughters shopping. So we all loaded up in the car and we went from store to store. And we were kind of tight for time. We didn't have a lot of time, so everybody knew that we were kind of in a hurry. So we go to Kohl's, and my mom finds some dresses with my daughters, and my mom wants to buy them for her granddaughters. So we go to check out, and she's paying for it. And again, we're in a hurry. And my mom starts talking to the cashier. Have you ever been at the grocery store and someone pulls out their catalog of coupons? And you're the next, and it's going to take a week to check. That's how this felt just a little bit, only because I was impatient. And I wish that this story was about me kindly waiting and saying something kind to my mom after she was finished talking, but that's not what this story is about. So I'm pacing, waiting for them to check out. This story is going along. And my mom, she's a little introverted. She doesn't engage that much, so this was unique. And after we left Kohl's, on the way I asked my mom, I said, what was that about? And she's, the cashier lady, she saw my necklace and she saw my shirt and she commented on them. And my mom was wearing a cross necklace, no big deal, and she was wearing a shirt that said, pray without ceasing. And my mom has very deep faith roots. She doesn't talk much about it, but her faith roots are deep. And so this cashier says, hey, I love your necklace and I love your shirt and, I should probably be praying more. And instead of saying, oh, thank you very much, my mom leans in, makes herself available to this person. And out of kindness, she says, God's always listening. He's always available for you, for your prayers. And as they talk, turns out this cashier, and this was just before July 4th. She opens up and she says, I'm really struggling. Last July 4th, my 18-year-old son was with some friends, and they were shooting off fireworks, and there was an accident, and my son was killed. And it's coming up on the year anniversary of his death, and I'm hurting so bad. And the only reason that my family knows to pray for that woman, which we do all the time by name, the only reason that we know to do that is because my mom, in kindness, made herself available. While I was impatiently pacing back and forth, my mom was putting on an absolute clinic on what it looks like to be available and to show kindness to the person in front of you. I love what's going to show up on the screen here. I love what the Bible says about kindness. In Proverbs 16:24, kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. Isn't that true? When someone has said something kind to you, it sits. It goes deep, right? Kind words make all the difference. If you can just simply say something kind to someone each and every day, the lens through which you see the world, the lens through which I see the world, way more beautiful. The second one that I want to share is intentional curiosity. Ask someone a question about themselves. As I was driving down here from Plymouth, Minnesota, the Twin Cities area yesterday, there were a few cars where I wanted to ask the driver a question about their driving. I'm not sure if you've ever experienced that. Does your blinker work? Every now and then that happens, right? But the best part about leaning in with people and having intentional curiosity, when you ask someone about a question about themselves, is you get to see a bit about who they are. You get to remind them that they matter. It's like you saying, hey, I see you. Every time I fly, like most people, I have a carry-on. This is my carry-on when I fly. Who has a carry-on when they fly? Most of the people I see on a plane, most of the people that I have had a chance to interview have a carry-on. But if you think about it, whether it's at a coffee shop or a place of work or at home, everybody has a carry-on, right? Every single day, people are carrying with them. Maybe it's a hurt, maybe it's a joy, but everybody has a carry-on. When we ask someone a question about themselves, it's kind of like we're saying, so what's your carry-on today? What are you carrying with you? When I'm on a plane interviewing people, there are 7 questions I ask everybody. And I'll share a few of them with you. One of them is, what was the best day of your life? What was the best day of your life? The very first person I interviewed on a flight to Denver, she lit up. The best day of my life. I had just gotten a call from Be the Match. Be the Match is a bone marrow donation organization. And she had just signed up. 2 weeks later, she gets a call. Hey, you are a match for an 18-year-old who has leukemia and is dying and desperately needs a bone marrow transplant. Can you help? She agrees to the surgery, goes through with it. It's incredibly painful to donate bone marrow, by the way. But the best day of her life was the day that she enters into incredible physical pain to save the life of a stranger with cancer. I sat next to a superhero that day, wanted to give her a cape. And the only reason I knew that is because I asked someone a question about themselves. Sometimes, well, all the time, one of my core questions that I ask people is, what was the worst day of your life? I mentioned that 14 of the 30 people cried on my shoulder. That question is why. What was the worst day of your life? What was yours? A lady named Angie, she shared that she was on a boat with a boyfriend. They'd been dating for 3 years, and it was her and his uncle and his dad, and they're on the boat. The boat breaks down, and he says, I swam in high school. I'm a strong swimmer. I will swim to shore. We'll get a boat, tug us back. Dives in, does not emerge. His dad jumps in, grabs his son's body, lifeless. He's breathing. He says, Dad, the water hurts. Everything burns. His dad, one arm under him, one hand on his chest. And the young man realizes that he can't feel his dad's hand on his chest. He accidentally dove into a sandbar, instantly paralyzed from the armpit on down. Worst day of his life, worst day of her life at the same time. 5 years removed from that accident, They're engaged. They're getting married this month. And I got a chance to see the strength of her character, even through the worst day of her life, because I asked someone a question about themselves. One of the people I interviewed went skydiving, crash landed. He's a professional skydiver, but he crash landed with a guy once. And he said, "You got to go skydiving." I thought, "But you crash landed." He's like, "That was an anomaly." So in February of this year, off the coast of Sebastian, Florida, I went skydiving, 14,000 feet over the beach. And I learned in that moment that you don't care about your laundry. You're not wondering if you get that $10.99 in the mail. My hair felt like it was on fire, all because I asked someone a question about themselves. I love what the Bible says about being curious. So this is from Luke 19, 1 through 4. Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through. A man was there by the name of Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and was wealthy. He wanted to see who Jesus was. He was curious. But because he was short, he could not see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree to see him, since Jesus was coming that way. Zacchaeus was curious about Jesus. He was short. We learn later in the story that he's a crooked tax collector. He's taking people's money that doesn't belong to him. And maybe he couldn't get to the front of the crowd because they wouldn't let him. They didn't like him. But he was curious, and he didn't let the crowd being there stop him, so he runs ahead, climbs into the sycamore tree so he can see Jesus. And he has this unbelievable exchange. Jesus comes over to his house for dinner. Being curious about Jesus, being curious about your world is so powerful. And actually in that story, just a little bit, I kind of want to be that sycamore tree. I want to be used by God where I'm planted to lift people up who are curious about Jesus so they can see him better. I want to help curious people, and I want to stay curious about people. The third one that I'd like to share with you today, that has the third lens that has changed my world, is intentional service. Helping someone who needs help. A couple of weeks ago, I was at Costco with my daughters. Emma, my oldest, is 8. She's a chess player. She's a firstborn. She's a rule follower with a tender heart. Anna is my 5-year-old. She paints my toenails. She dances. If she was alive in the 60s, she would have been to Woodstock. Okay? She's watch out for Anna. But both my kids, because what we do at the bus stop each and every morning, I've been planting and watering intentional seeds of engagement. And we talk about helping someone who needs help. We're at Costco. We go through the store. We get the items we need. We check out. We go to the food court area. If you want to have some fun, watch a 5-year-old try to eat a 15-inch long hot dog. They'll try it in one bite. It'll make your day. While we're sitting there eating our snack, up rolls in a little motorized cart a woman with an empty cup, hot dog in a bag. And I see her, and I think she's going to need help. No way she can put anything in that cup. No way that she can get up to get the condiments for her hot dog. So she rolls up to the table right next to us. I lean over and I ask, "Is there something I can help you with today?" And she said, "I'm so glad you asked. I would love some lemonade in my cup, and I would love some ketchup, mustard, and relish on my hot dog." And I said, "I'm happy to do that for you. I may need to touch the hot dog bun while I'm putting the condiments on your hot dog." She smiles, she goes, "Oh, honey, you're not poison. I belong to Jesus." She's not afraid of anything. So I get her the lemonade and the ketchup and the mustard and the relish, and I deliver her items back to her, and I sit down with my 8-year-old and my 5-year-old. And my 5-year-old, Anna, lights up. "Daddy, you help someone who needs help." I love that, and I know there's a 5-year-old here today. I met him, Will. I love when there's an opportunity for young kids to train them up in the way they should go. That we can plant and water seeds of intentional engagement, teaching people to help someone who needs help. If you take this into your family, and I'm sure you already do it, if it's an intentional daily engagement, the world is more beautiful for everyone involved. And the best thing about helping people, when you help someone, what happens with our brains, when you help someone, all these little chemicals in their brains fire off. Their stress goes down, their blood pressure goes down, their mood boosts. That happens for them. It happens for you. Anytime you help somebody, that happens for you too. Bonus, anyone that sees you helping someone, that happens for them. Intentional service, helping someone who needs help. It helps them, it helps you, it helps anybody that sees it. That's how powerful that is. I love what it says in Galatians 6:2. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. I love that beforehand, in advance, before our day even starts, God has prepared opportunities for good works, for us to help someone who needs help. All we have to do is walk into those opportunities. And if we wake up each and every day and say, I'm going to help someone who needs help, we'll be able to see the opportunity and walk into the opportunity that God prepared beforehand for us to do good works. These 3 little intentional engagements, they're not new, they're not shiny. You probably do them already, maybe sometimes. But like glasses, if you can put them on every single day, just like that groom, your world will be so much more beautiful, and the impact you'll have will be so beautiful. And I just thank you for your time this morning. God bless you.
All right, that was fantastic. I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. If you're interested in showing a little love and buying Adam's book or signing up for it, he left some bookmarks that we have in our lobby here in the church, but we'll also post an image of these on our website for you that you can check out. And on the front, it's got the principles that is outlined in his book. And then on the back, he's got some contact information, his social media handles, as well as on the bottom here, there's a little bit of information on how to get in contact with him to pre-order his book that will be out in the fall. So I invite you to head over to our website, check this out. You can click on it or stop in and pick one of these babies up right there in our church lobby. And with that said, I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope that you are all blessed. May grace and peace be with you, and we will see you soon.
It's your breath in our lungs. shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Belgrade Online. If it was life-giving and encouraging to you, please let us know by visiting our giving page at baumc.org/give. Thanks again for watching and have a blessed week.